Okay. I heard this saying today, and I think it's my favorite saying. Not no LeBron James, but you gotta cope or you gotta rope. And I'm leaning towards the rope. I'm not gonna lie, I'm leaning towards the rope. Um, but I was on this, I was looking at Reddit today, just like the prime not virgin that I am. And I was on this post where this guy was talking about how he's 35 and he's still a virgin. Or he was somewhere in his 30s, and there were like all these dudes commenting saying they're like 50-year-old virgins, 40-year-old virgins, all this stuff like that. And I'm not gonna lie, yo, this world's fucked, bro. I think like all these dudes out here, they're so lonely. Even like people in their 20s too, like my age in their early 20s, like I see everybody just like done with life. Like they're talking about how everybody is out, everybody can make friends, everybody can do everything, and they're contemplating just like, to themselves. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of in that same boat, to be honest with you. I went out today. I was nice to everybody. I don't know if it was just like fuck you day today or something, but everybody I talked to, even the people that are usually nice to me, everybody was a cunt today. Everybody was a dickhead. I legitimately did nothing to them. Some of them gave me dirty stares, dirty looks. Some of them have that like, why are you talking to me? What do you want? And it's like, people are like, oh, well, all you have to do is, put yourself out there. And all you have to do is just talk to people. And as soon as you do that, people treat you like you just bombed their house. So the only reason why like I'm starting to understand this is because like legitimately like you have to cope with how the world is, unfortunately, in order to, well, I don't even want to say succeed because I mean there's fucking I mean I was reading this. There were like 60-year-old dudes who are still virgins. And they're just like, oh, I want to end my life. Like it's not worth it. Like I'm like, fuck, man. Like I can't even imagine. Imagine being 60 and still a virgin. Like, unwillingly, I mean. Like, that's gotta be insane, yo. It's gotta be crazy. I mean, could you imagine? I couldn't even, like, I don't even know if I could live with myself. 60 years old. And what I've noticed too is that anybody that says that, like, sex doesn't matter, it's always the people that have already had sex that says sex doesn't matter. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. It's like somebody with like a Lamborghini, Ferrari, $1 million, like some rich dude saying money doesn't matter. Well, it doesn't matter because you have it. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, man, like, I drive this nice car, I eat all this good food, but it doesn't matter though. Life's not about money. Life's not about sex, right? It's always what somebody else has that you don't have, and they have the audacity to tell you that it doesn't matter, right? It's like when you're not sick, you don't really care when other people are sick because it doesn't affect you. This is the thing that pisses me off about society and the world in general. People do not care about anything unless it happens to them. And this is something you have to just cope with it. I've learned this like a long time ago. But if you've been abused by your family and the other person you're talking to was not abused by their family, no matter how much they try to understand, they will never understand what you've been through, right? Just like how when somebody says money doesn't matter and they have money, they don't know what it's like to live in this economy with less than $200 in your bank account, right? And I think that's the stuff I hate about like relationships in general. It's always the married people who are like, "Oh, don't get married." It's always the people who are like, or the super kind of hurt people that tell you like, "Oh, like women don't matter, sex doesn't matter, it all comes naturally." It's just a cope, just this pure LARPing cope. And I just hate it. And it's like the dudes who are it's kind of like the supermodels that are like 12 out of 10 facially. And they're like, oh, and like some guy. I actually saw this interview today. The only reason why I'm talking about this, there was this guy, I forgot the model name, but this guy was interviewing him and he's like, yo, dude, do you get like insecure about how you look? And like his reaction, he's just like, oh man, like, dude, all the time. And this guy has like the sharpest jawline ever. He has like super nice hair, just like all just like perfect eyebrows, perfect facial structure, bone structure, you name it. And like it's hilarious. It's like of course the supermodel is gonna say that, he's insecure to make the other ugly people feel, like they're relatable, right? But it's the same guys who tell you, women don't matter that get all the women. I mean, I remember I saw this video. I don't know if you know who King 68 is. King 68 the Great. And God, that name is so corny to me. I'm so sorry. But I mean, he seems okay. But I remember I saw this video because I think he does like live streaming. I think he does Twitch now. But I saw this like clip of him, this short clip of him, and he was talking. He was just such just like LARPing haven, just like absolute, just pure LARP. Just like he's like, listen, listen, kings. He's like talking to his chat, like these 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds in his messages, just like fucking like just spamming the chat. And he's just like, listen, y'all, listen, listen up, men, listen up, you young men, you boys. Listen, like life is not about chasing women. Life is not about women. Go find yourself a woman that's this, that's that. You know what I mean? Find yourself a wife. Don't take shit from women. Don't let women affect you. Coming from the same bitch that gets that literally gets, I don't know, if he went out to a bar in Miami, he's probably getting 40 girls' numbers if he wants to, right? Of course, he's going to say women doesn't matter because he has enough of it. He's got too much of it. When you got too much of something, of course you're going to be sick of it and you're going to tell people it doesn't matter. Of course you are. If you have too much money, too many cars, too many brothers, too many sisters, you're going to say you're sick of it. Of course you're going to be sick of it. If you eat the same thing every day, you're going to say, well, it doesn't really matter. Well, of course it doesn't matter because you have so much of it. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, man. I just think for the guys out there who want to get like in relationships and can't, for the guys who are virgins that want to have, sex but can't, I don't know what to say. I mean, you have to just cope with it. You have to cope. I mean, it's either, I mean, again, like I saw this quote today. It's just like cope or rope. And I think that couldn't be, I mean, it's hilarious, but I think it's true. Without coping, I mean, I mean, like, what do you have, bro? I mean, life's not fair. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not fair. The one thing I do hate about life is that it's not just unfair, it's like so unfair. Like, I'm okay with things being unfair. Like, if it's like, I'm trying to think of a good analogy here, but like, if it was like, I'm trying to think like of a good analogy here. It's kind of like a really good NBA team playing against like a mediocre NBA team, but they have some superstars that could finish it off. You know what I mean? That's unfair because like let's be honest, like the 2017 Golden State Warriors are probably going to beat, any team including the Cavs. Let's be honest. Now, do the Cavs still have a chance? Yeah, they sure do because they have, LeBron, Kevin Love. They got the whole gist still. But it's just like it's unfair, but they still have a chance. But like really unfair is like the 2017 Warriors versus, today's Sacramento Kings. You know what I mean? Like you're just getting penetrated. You know what I mean? So that's how I feel like the world is that no matter how good you are, no matter how much you put yourself out there, no matter how much you try, no matter how much you come up to a woman, no matter how much you do, it's never going to be enough until the luck comes, until that's, that the spark comes. And if you can't handle that, well, I hate to promote this. I'm not trying to promote it, but I'm saying like you might as well just, you know, you know, instead of the coping, just do it. I mean, I don't think you should do it, but I I came to understand actually, and now I fully understand. I understood it before, but now I definitely understand. Like, I don't do drugs, I don't smoke, I don't drink alcohol, I don't vape. Like, I don't find it appealing, and I just don't like it. I never saw the appeal of it in general. Any kind of drug, like anything, coke, like any kind of drug, no alcohol, none of it, weed, nothing. And I never understood why. Like when I was younger, I was like, why do people do this stuff? I'm like, it's not really cool. You feel like shit. I mean, when you had your first alcohol drink for the first time, you went, ugh. You know what I mean? Like you didn't like that shit. but you kept going and you have a tolerance, and all of a sudden now you're getting drunk every night. You know what I mean? You're getting drunk every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, maybe the whole fucking week, maybe the whole week. But now I understand now that all of these things like alcohol, drugs, anything, it's all social media, OnlyFans, right? Or corn. Sorry, fuck, I gotta say corn. But right, all of these things are cope for what your life is, if that makes sense. It's all cope for how you feel, what you're going through, the actions that you can't put on yourself. You know what I mean? And I think all of these things, right? Like, let's be honest, like, if you were a very happy person, I mean, I don't think you'd be having alcohol every week if you're already happy without the alcohol. You know? Like, sure, maybe if you made money, you'll indulge on it a lot. Like, maybe at first when you make a lot of money, you're like, oh, I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go crazy and do all that. But it gets to a point where, like, it gets boring, man. Like, it's gonna get boring, and you actually might get worse. This is why I believe everybody shouldn't have money because you're gonna do stupid shit with it. This is why I believe in capitalism because if you give everyone all fair amounts of money, it's gonna go back to capitalism again because people are gonna spend it on dumb shit anyway. So I think that a lot of these things that are factually bad for you. A lot of these things I believe are just cope that you can just ignore, not do it, or you can indulge in the cope, but don't get mad at yourself or well, don't get mad at the fact that you're more depressed because you're the one who put yourself in that position. You know what I mean? It's like telling someone like I'm gonna jump off this, I've already had experience, and then you jump off with them and you're like, ow, that hurts. Well, yeah, because you haven't done it before. You know? That was kind of a bad analogy, but it's just like it's like you getting mad at someone when you didn't force them to do something kind of situation. Like you saw them do it, so you're like, I'll do it too. But they didn't force you to do it, but you still did it because it was just there, you know? There was that I think it was like I forgot what video it was on YouTube, but it was like the chasing high video. Some animal like walking up to this ball and it had like a some bird, I think, and there was like it walked past it. It was like shiny, it was kind of like gold. It's kind of like a drug. It was like an addiction video where they like walk up. Well, it's just like one bird. It walks up. There's this like circle, kind of like this ball here. He looks at it, and then he just walks past it. Then he looks at it the second time, and he keeps looks at it a bit longer. Then the third time he walks past, he's like, you know what, I'm gonna take it. Takes it, feels amazing, right? Flies in the sky. It's a whole just. Wish I remember the video because I might link it in the description because it's a really good video. But he keeps taking it, and he keeps feels great the first few times. But as he keeps taking it, he's running faster and faster to the ball, whatever he took, the drug, right? Every time because he keeps chasing that high. And it got to a point where he was so tired. Like every time he also was like the animation shows him flying and he's like, oh, he's in the sky and then he just collapses and just boom. And he's tired, but he wants to chase that high again. So he keeps going for it. He keeps running for it, looking for it, taking it, flies up, boom, keeps crashing, hitting him. He's so tired. And it gets to a point where he gets so tired that he can't even be his regular self anymore without taking the high anymore, without taking the drug. So it gets to a point where it's so addictive, he can't even function or move without the drug that he's taking. My whole point with this is that, like, a lot of this stuff that people are doing, right? Like, a lot of this corn addiction, a lot of this drugs, a lot of this like people having a lot of sex, especially unprotected sex, right? I mean, you meet girls with like 40, 50 bodies nowadays, it's insane. I think anything over 10 is ridiculous. I think anything over 4 is crazy, me personally. Um, but I think it's all cope, like for your miserable life. And that goes for me too, by the way. I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm a saint. I mean, shoot, I've done bad things too, and like I'm not gonna sit here and say that oh like I know what I'm doing because I don't, bro. I'm only 21. Like I don't know. But what I can say is that like confidently is that that's the reason why I don't do drugs, I don't smoke, I don't drink because I'm worried that that's going to be a cope for me, where it's like I don't like it, but I'm like I'll have a little more, and then it gets to a point where I'm like it's kind of good, you know what I mean? Like I feel all tipsy. I'm like ooh, you know what I mean? And then it's gonna get to a point where like I can't get a woman, I can't talk to a woman because it's gonna get to a point where I only need alcohol to talk to a woman. That's why you have to be sober, in my opinion. But I don't know, man. Scary. It's very scary. And I think without any kind of my phone goes off one more time. I think without discipline, without I think let's put the discipline bullshit aside. I think everybody just needs a friend. Everybody needs that one real friend that like doesn't do bad shit. Like it's kind of like having like the devil on your shoulder and the angel, but you need more angels than devils if that makes sense, you know? And I think you need a friend or friends, plural, like good ones, that can tell you the rights from the wrongs, that can give you direction relatively. Because I see people who hang out all the time and they all do stupid shit. And in my opinion, I just find it corny. I mean, sure, like on the outside, it's funny, like, okay, yeah, they're going out to the woods, they're doing cocaine. I mean, more power to you, I guess, bro. But to me, that's not fun at all. It's just stupid. It's like, what's the point? Why are you even doing it? Because it's cope. They want to cope for their miserable lives. That's why. Like, people are so bored, people are so lonely, people are so unloved that they have to resort to doing bad things to themselves to make them feel something. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I think corn is so scary because, when people watch that shit, it's like you watch it, you're addicted to it, and it's like it's unlimited. Like, there's, I mean, probably billions of videos out there, millions or however many. I don't even know. Probably billions. That's crazy, right? Scary, man. And I think it's gonna get only worse, especially in like for the next few generations. I'm scared. I'm scared for myself too, because I know in the past videos, I talk a lot about how I hate women and I don't like women at all. But I can't sit here and say every woman's a demon, every woman's bad, because I'm sure there are good women out there, but it's ironic how everyone I meet is just a demon. It's just ironic, right? I don't go out to bars. I don't go out to like strip clubs. I don't go out to any of this stuff because you're not going to find a wife at a strip club. And if you do, well, that just tells me where your morals are. You know what I mean? So, and I've met people that have met their wives at bars, and then I see what their morals are like, and I'm like, well, that's why you guys are together. With all due respect, I mean, whatever makes your fanny wake up, I guess. I don't know, but and I don't want like a crazy religious wife either. I just want a wife with good morals. That's it, just good morals. Like, put the religion aside. Like, there's religion, and then there's like just being a normal person. Because I've seen Muslims who are just smoking cigarettes, doing hookah, smoking weed. I'm like, well, you're not Muslim then, because it's haram. They're out there, they're drinking alcohol, they're wearing their hijabs at the bars. I see all of that. I'm like, you're not even Muslim then. So what are you doing? In Turkey, I'm in Turkey and they're doing this shit. Not even in America, in Turkey. Don't even get me started on American Muslim women. Even men too. Men they go out to the club. They're like, "Oh, are you Muslim?" They're chugging like a 1942. They're like, "Yeah, man, you know what I'm saying?" But God forbid we put bacon on that bacon, egg, and cheese. God forbid though. God forbid we eat bacon. Whoa, 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 brother. Whoa. The Don Julio we could have, but the bacon. Whoa. You got COVID. Step back. Whoa. You know. I don't know, dude. I'm kind of getting off track with this video, but my whole point is that I think for myself, for you, or I guess for the men, because I don't think any women are gonna watch this. But you need to have some kind of like cope. I think everybody copes, um, but cope or rope. I guess I don't know. I can't really like advocate for one or the other, but because I really do understand why people don't want to live, bro. I get it. Like this is why I understand why people do drugs. I get it because that's their cope. That's their way of like life sucks, my life sucks, but the only way I'm gonna have like, you know, my temporary happiness for the week is just by doing a little bit of coke, by doing a little bit of a line, by having sex with a woman that I don't even know, right? I get it though. I understand that. That's why I don't judge like my friends for doing. I mean, even in Turkey they do that too. Like I don't judge people for doing that stuff. I really don't. Because if you judge somebody based on what they cope on, I mean, it's not really a good judgment of their character because they can still be a good person, right? Well, maybe. But intuitively, like at heart, they're not bad people, you know? They just do stuff, dumb decisions that is cope, you know? So I don't know, man. I think at the end of the day, you have to pick a side and or pick a direction, you know? And if you're gonna complain, you can complain, but at the end of the day, if you don't take action on whatever it is that you want to do, even if you fail, a million times, it's like a sales pitch, like all it takes is one yes, and that yes might be in a week or 10 years or maybe 40 years or maybe never. That's what's the most scary for people is that it might be never. And honestly, I think what should scare you more is that if you don't take the action on what you do want, then you're just wasting your own time, right? I mean, you can't blame the world for not taking action for you, right? I mean, it's ironic how the people who take the most action get the most lucky, isn't it? People that put themselves out there the most. I just find it ironic. It's like, oh, like, all these like YouTubers, these streamers, they just got lucky, right? But you haven't seen like the 400, 500 videos that they did. You don't haven't seen all the thousands of live streams that they did. So you can't tell me everything in life is just luck, especially with relationships, because it might be though. It could be, and I think it is. But the point is that if you don't put yourself out there, you can't expect something to come to you. You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense to me. It's like saying you want to go to the beach, but you're in like I don't know, but you're in like Sudan or something. It's like, well, they don't have beaches. Well, I don't think they do. I could be wrong. I don't know. But if you're not in a beach area and you're like, well, I want to go to a beach, well, it's the beach is not going to come to you, right? You have to go to the beach, and that's when the beach is there, you can swim, right? So you can't expect to get something without putting in the work to at least be in the position of be in the position in order to get it, if that makes sense, you know? So you can't say you want women, but you don't put yourself out there. You're like, oh, like I'm good looking, I'm this and that. They don't come up to me. Well, yeah, they don't have to come up to you. That's the point. It's the game, right? If they come up to you, that's luck, but they probably won't. Because 95% of women don't do that. 100% of women probably. So, I don't know. I think in order to get what you want, you have to put yourself out there with the actions that you attain on and you pertain on, So, I think that's it. And just remember, no matter what you're dealing with, what you're going through, it can always get worse. So, I promise you it can. Because I saw some of the comments I saw on that Reddit like post were really scary. I'll be honest with you. Like they scared me. Like I almost teared up for the guys. I mean, seriously, I can't imagine being at that age and being single, or not just single, but just a virgin. I mean, some of them were like, some of the guys were even like, I never had a hug. I'm like, what the fuck, a hug? Shit, bro, come here. You know what I mean? Like, what the like, what the fuck? No hug is crazy. Scary, dude. Like, if it's this bad, like, it's gonna sound fucked up, but this corn is gonna get worse. And I think like even like the child stuff, the dark web stuff, it's gonna get worse. I promise you, it's gonna get worse because there's not. I think there's a quote for this or saying it you might have heard. There's nothing worse than a man who has nothing to lose. You know, a man that has nothing to lose is the scariest person in the world. I promise you. Because if you have nothing to lose, then you're willing to die for anything, and it could be the stupidest shit, the most stupid shit. So just remember, at the end of the day, gotta take life step by step, one ingredient by one ingredient. You know what I mean? You can't put everything together and expect it to be perfect. You have to measure it out one by one. And as soon as you do it, and you stir slowly, it'll start coming together. And in order for it to be done properly, you have to be patient, let it cook, and that's it. You know? So no matter what you are or who you believe you are, you gotta have self-worth and know that, your imperfections might be the ones that make you perfect at the end of the day. And without you being the person that you are, you know, you can't be somebody else, man. You just can't. You can't pretend to be somebody that you're not because at the end of the day, your true self always comes out. And I tried to be a bad person too. I there's a point where I was like, why am I so nice to people? I was like, I could just be a demon. I could just be like, fuck you. And I did it for a day and I hated it. I cried. It was like people were waving at me. People I usually talk to, they were waving at me. I just looked at them. Some of them I just ignored and they were just like, what the hell? I felt bad. Like in my heart, I was like, this isn't right. So I think no matter what you deal with, I don't think anger resolves anything, to be honest with you. I don't think getting mad really solves. I mean, it helps to get it out, obviously, like your sadness, right? If you cry, I think crying actually could be good for you. Maybe not in public, but behind the scenes, I think crying and letting your emotions out and also getting your anger out too is good for you. Not hurting anything, but just getting it out, screaming, yelling, it's good for you, because it gets all that out of your mind. Talking's always better, but especially with somebody else. But getting your emotions out is important, you know. And at the end of the day, on this video off with this is just, nobody can be better. Well, what was I gonna say? I forgot. I looked up already. But you know, nobody can be a better you. And no matter how hard you try to be someone that you're not, it always comes back to, what's in here. What's in here, not here. So much love, and we out.